Good Saturday morning. Welcome to the Saturday Sports Page. I am Tom Schmitz coming to you live from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, just outside the food court entrance to the Paddock Mall in the Brick City Beautiful, Ocala, Florida. Before we get started this morning, I want to ask all of you in our listening audience to please offer up a special prayer for Luke Sylvia's mother. She's once again under the weather, so if you can, go light a candle, however it is you worship, just keep her in your prayers this morning. I am joined by Luke Sylvia, who left his mother to be here. That's commitment to Saturday sports right there.
Yeah, you know, Tom, I'm just trying to keep the show under control, because if you were just here, that might be a little out of control.
Can we just go ahead and say that Josh LaSalva got destroyed last night at NBA 2K?
You can absolutely say that.
Can we go ahead and say that?
Made him quit in the third quarter, and I can.
He quit in the third quarter.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard him say this is a stupid game,
you would be a wealthy man. You wouldn't have had to be here.
And I didn't. You didn't even want to hear his response when I said FIFA's a stupid game.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, by the way, Josh LaSalva thinks he's the sports gaming guru. Mm-hmm. And last night he was using the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yep.
With Kevin Durant and an all-star, not a superstar, but an all-star, Russell Westbrook.
Exactly.
If you believe what Mark Cuban says. Mm. You were using a also-ran team called the Detroit Pistons.
They were 8 seed this year in the playoffs.
And you were destroying him.
Yep. Contavious Caldwell.
Hey, so Josh LaSalva.
It did feel good to beat Josh LaSalva at something.
You know, I just love messing with Josh. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because, you know, he's not even the best LaSalva. Okay? Let's be honest. Linda LaSalva's the best LaSalva.
Okay, good. I thought you were about to say JJ, but, you know.
Linda's the best LaSalva. John Sr.'s the second best LaSalva. Mm. And then JJ. So Josh doesn't even crack the top three.
That's rough.
And I think Sam's probably better than Josh, too. Now, do you know his brother, Sam?
No, I think I just know JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Josh LaSalva destroyed last night at NBA 2K. Mm-hmm. He's probably not listening this morning.
No, probably not.
But we'll have this on tape, and we can play it back for him.
And if any of you listening know Josh LaSalva,
please, by all means, tweet him and wake him up and explain to him that he's being destroyed again this morning on the radio for being destroyed last night on NBA 2K. Mm-hmm. And you did pretty well against him in FIFA, too.
I stood my ground. Yeah. We tied, ended up going to PKs, but we don't really count PKs. So.
Well, that's the dumbest way to end the game.
It is, and
it's just dumb.
Yeah, so I just told him, this, you know, we can just say we tied. Josh was like, sure. So we decided that before we started PKs. So, and then I think he beat me 2-1 second game.
PKs are just dumb.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They're just dumb ways to end things. Hey, it is the NFL draft. 2 Florida Gators taken in the first round. Imagine that. Guys that play on the defense.
Yeah.
What's that say? Will Muschamp could coach some defense. That's what that says. Mm-hmm. As Keanu Neal and Vernon Hargreaves taken. Vernon Hargreaves taken, I believe, by the Tampa Bay Bucks with the 11th pick. Is that correct?
Yeah, 11th pick.
And I believe were they the 16th pick or 17th pick? I don't remember where they were. But all I know is Keanu Neal is now with the best team in the NFL. That's all I know.
So he just went from one of your favorite college teams.
Oh, no. I tweeted that last night. I said, I didn't tweet it. I put it on because they showed him Atlanta Falcons on Periscope. They showed him arriving at Flowery Branch, the offices of the Falcons. And I put on there, as a Gator fan, now rise up Gators, and let the dirty birds fly.
Yeah, he was 17th last night.
17th pick. No, 2 nights ago. 17th pick to the greatest team in the NFL.
And then I also saw,
because you're a big fan of the greatest team in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huge fan.
Yeah. Hey, rise up. That's all I'm telling you. That's all I'm telling you.
And also, Florida had another defensive player go last night, actually.
Yeah. Jonathan Bullock.
To the Chicago.
Which is a great fit. You know why? He plays defense too.
Yeah, defensive tackle.
Yeah, defensive tackle to the Bears. That's going to be a great addition to that Bears defense, which has slipped in the past, which has slipped recently from the monsters of the Midway that they've always been. You know, that's the Bears. Hey, there's a long history of defense in Chicago. Mm-hmm. You know, not a whole lot of offense, but a long history of defense.
Yeah, one of the recents being Brian Urlacher.
You know, Urlacher's not even cracked the top 5 in Chicago defense.
Well, they do have that, like you said, the legacy of defense.
Let me explain something. You ever hear of a name? You ever hear of a guy called Mike Singletary? Mm-hmm. You ever hear that guy? Mm-hmm. Ever hear of a guy that played for the University of Florida that single-handedly, Tom James, turn your radio off right now, single-handedly beat the University of Southern California? That would be Wilbur Marshall. Mm. You ever hear that name? Mm-hmm. You ever hear the name of quite possibly, arguably, the greatest linebacker that ever played a game, a guy named Dick Butkus? You ever hear that name? Mm-hmm. They all played the linebacker position for the monsters of the Midway. Singletary was a monster, too. Singletary, because, you know, Singletary, you've seen him as a coach. You know him as Coach Singletary. But Singletary, you know, he wears glasses. But when he played in the NFL, he didn't wear glasses. And his eyes are a little crossed. And you, as a quarterback, you walk up to the line of scrimmage and you get up under center and you look across that defensive line and you see a guy with his eyes crossed snorting at you. That can't make you feel good.
No. That's not good for shadowing.
That can't make you feel good.
No.
Just like Jack Lambert with the Steelers. Lambert didn't have any teeth. So Lambert, you go up to the line of scrimmage and get underneath center and look at Lambert, and he'd be snorting at you, smiling with no teeth in his mouth. You're looking at a guy with no teeth in his mouth that has a helmet on, and his job is to kill you. That can't make you feel good. When I played football, because, you know, I got my teeth knocked out when I was 10 years old. Mm-hmm. So when I played football, I'd take my teeth. I literally had a quarterback ask a referee, can he do that? Because I wouldn't wear a mouthpiece, and I'd just smile. What did I have to wear a mouthpiece? It wasn't like I was going to get my teeth knocked out. So I wouldn't wear a mouthpiece, and I would smile. And a quarterback in high school, a quarterback for Fernandina High School asked a referee, said, referee calls referee's timeout and goes up and says, can he do that? The referee said, what? And I'm standing there looking at him. He goes, he doesn't have a mouthpiece and he doesn't have any teeth. Can he do that? And the referee said, just play ball. So Jonathan Bullard drafted last night for the Chicago Bears. Okay, I'm done with the draft now.
Are you?
I mean, the first round was okay. Second and third round, because there were still some very talented people. This draft was not full of superstars, but this draft, the first 3 rounds were full of great football players.
Yeah, and one of those drafted 4th, Ezekiel Elliott from the Ohio
Way
State.
too early.
And
should have took Jalen Ramsey.
And let me tell you the Twitter conversation, because obviously people are already trying to compare him to Emmitt Smith, which is
not going to happen.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, one of the greatest running backs ever to play the game. Holds the NFL rushing record.
And from the University of Florida.
Yeah,
and the
University of Florida.
And there's
Escambia High School played him in the state playoffs my junior year when he was a freshman.
Really, how'd that go?
It wasn't good for us.
Nah, I didn't think so. There was a Twitter conversation that Emmitt Smith is involved in about Ezekiel Elliott. Someone said, let's just hope he's as good as you were, Emmitt. And Emmitt Smith replied, he's better. That's just being humble.
That's exactly what that is.
And
that's a humble man.
You know Emmitt Smith read that tweet and chuckled a little bit.
That's a humble man.
And then he just tweeted, he's better. I mean,
that's a humble man.
No one's going to believe it.
Now, if Jalen Ramsey, somebody that tweeted at primetime that Jalen Ramsey was better than you, primetime would have chuckled and said, nobody's better than me.
He would have said, shut up.
Exactly. For those of you that don't know who primetime is, turn your radios off. You shouldn't be listening to sports talk radio anyway.
Go back to sleep.
Go back. Wake up Josh LaSalva. Ask him. He'll tell you who primetime is. Coming up on today's show, Buddy Martin joins us at 10:15. We're going to ask Buddy what his takes on the draft has been over the weekend, and also we'll talked to him about his column that came out. I mean, not his column, but Tony Barnhart's column that came out earlier this week that was inspired by Buddy Martin. Did you see this column Tony Barnhart wrote on GridironNow.com?
I do not believe I have
The
it.
first 4 sentences, he says Buddy Martin's the reason he wrote the column. We'll talk with Buddy about that. And I'm trying to get in touch with my buddy Ray Einhorn. He's the golf professional at Ocala National Golf Club. Talk to him about Tiger Woods' probable comeback very soon, and Ted Potter Jr. making his return to professional golf in the Web.com tour event this weekend. Try to get Ray on. If not, we got plenty to talk about with the draft, and it's baseball season. Soccer is in full effect.
No, baseball doesn't start till the playoffs.
The hockey playoffs are going. What other sports? Oh, NASCAR's going. What other sport is there? Oh, golf. And then drag racing. I saw drag racing's in full effect last night.
Probably badminton.
I don't know if it's badminton season or not.
That'd be a downer if it's not.
But good job. Thank God basketball's over there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Miami Heat pull out a victory last night to force Game 7 in a series that they shouldn't be in a Game 7. And a series that's surprising me, and we'll talk with Luke Sylvia about this later in the show. The Toronto Raptors and the Indiana Pacers are going to a Game 7.
Yeah, they are.
Who saw that coming? We'll talk with Luke about that later on the Saturday Sports Page. Coming up next, Buddy Martin joins us right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on The Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
This is Kendall Carpenter with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. I want to introduce you to the finest equestrian opportunity available. If you love horses and enjoy Central Florida's mild climate and rich rolling landscape, come explore Golden Ocala. Bridle trails weave their way through this stunningly beautiful community of stately homes. Our state-of-the-art equestrian center will meet all of your equestrian needs with style. Visit us at goldenocala.com.
Hello, everybody. This is Terry Bradshaw at Fox NFL Sunday. Whenever I'm in Ocala, if I'm not picking and singing with my buddy Mel Tillis, then I'm listening to my longtime friend Buddy Martin on WOCA. Of course, I rarely get to Ocala, so if you believe that, I've got some horses I'd like to sell you. Some of them even have 4 legs. Regardless, I highly recommend you listen to Buddy Martin's Sports Page weekdays at 5 p.m. right here on The Source.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. I'm Tom Schmitz coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio. Let's go out to the phone lines now and talk to a guy who is a longtime sports columnist, sports editor, author of many books, finishing up on a book right now with Coach Steve Spurrier. He writes a column for GridironNow.com and SouthernPigskin.com, and he hosts the Voice of Ocala and Buddy Sports Page. Buddy Martin joins us. Buddy, I understand yesterday was your 21st birthday.
Yeah, it was about the 30th anniversary of my 21st birthday.
Well,
maybe 40th. You know.
Well, I want to on the air say happy birthday, belated birthday to you. And I said on Facebook, and I want to say publicly across the airwaves that 5 years ago you took a chance on a guy who you didn't have to take a chance on, and you did, and you've given me the opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm blessed to have made you a friend. So happy birthday, dear friend.
Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. People are probably puking about right now, but
I think that's the first. That's one of the first nice things I think you said on the air.
That is true. I will say this: if you saw my Facebook posting back, I said, I was one who was blessed. So enough of that stuff.
Yeah, okay. So that's enough of the mushing. It's a sports show. Can we stop? Hey, buddy, are you tired? Are you ready for the? You've watched enough draft now. You've watched probably 5-6 minutes of it. Are you done with it now?
Yeah. I'll peek in a couple of minutes to see where Driscoll goes at some point. And it's not high on my list of things. In fact, my wife said last night, "Aren't you going to watch any of the draft?" I said, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
I flipped it over for a couple of minutes. So yeah, I'm getting ready to go see it. I'm going to watch a movie that I've got. Somebody gave me a copy of, Brooklyn, tonight. And I want to see how that turns out. So, but no, I'm right. You know me. I'm not a big draft guy. I found out there's interesting wrinkles to it, a couple of them. But and here's a couple of things. As long as you ask me, here's my thoughts on top of mind. Strictly top of mind. It's impressive when somebody gets 3 guys drafted in the top 10, and that was Ohio State and Urban Meyer.
Certainly.
That's
5 overall in the first round.
First round, 5, 3 guys top 10, and 5 in the first round. Right, that's amazing. So congratulations to Urban on that. I'm gonna kind of disagree with you on something that Gator fans will be horrified on when I say it, but this is just my gut feeling. And by the way, Jacoby Brissett was drafted before Jeff Driscoll, of all things. So I want to say this, that I saw Emmett play in college. I covered him. Because last year especially, I covered every game almost he played. Well, not all, maybe 8 games. And, I thought he was a great player in college. I thought I didn't know he'd be as great a pro as he was. Based on what I've seen from this guy, and I watched him maybe 10 times, the guy from Ohio State is a player, all right?
Ezekiel Elliott.
I mean, he may not be Emmitt Smith, but he's going to put some numbers up there. The only thing I think about with him is Emmitt was smarter in terms of not taking hits. Ezekiel Elliott will challenge you. He'll take on. He blocks. He blocks linebacker from a blitz. He's got something special. He let me down a little in his attitude when he moaned and groaned, although he was right. They should have given him the ball more, and they didn't. But this kid is something special. And I think it was a good pick for the Cowboys. Maybe a slight reach, but if that's the guy you want, this guy, if he stays healthy 10 years, he'll put up some big numbers as a receiver and a running back, and he's a terrific pass blocker. So this is a special player, Ezekiel Elliott. So I think it was a great pick for the Cowboys.
Well, the thing with Ezekiel Elliott is he's a throwback to the days when a back stayed in on all 3 downs. They didn't bring in a specialist back because he can catch the football on 3rd down if he needs to. He can block and pick up the blitz on 3rd down if he needs to. And he can get you those 3 yards on 3rd down, that tough running if you need to. And that's a throwback to a bygone era in football. You don't have those kind of backs a whole lot anymore, buddy.
Good point. Very good point. I agree with you. And so we'll see how it turns out. But the thing about Emmett that nobody ever talks about, his durability.
Oh, I mean, remember he had to separate his shoulder and gained over 200 yards.
Oh my gosh, and to a guy like when you start talking to durability, the great ones, the Jim Browns, who knows how bad he was hurt? He never missed a game with an injury. And so the durability part of this has got, when you talk about how great were they, you got to factor that in. I mean, yeah, there can be great players like Gale Sayers who had 4 or 5 years. But you talk about the doing it over and over and taking a beating and doing this. And having
how about Walter Payton? Walter Payton took a beating every year.
Took a beating. Yeah.
You know the funny thing that we do, buddy, though, is every time we talk about running backs. You talk about Jim Brown, and people talk about Gale Sayers had 4 or 5 good years, and you talk about Emmitt Smith is one of the greatest, and people bring up Walter Payton, and Barry Sanders always gets into the conversation. But a guy that was very, very durable, because he touched the ball probably 80% of the time in college, and then all he did is finish in the top 5 in his career in the NFL. By the way, after taking the first 2 years to play in the USFL, nobody ever brings up the NFL career of Herschel Walker.
He's fabulous.
I mean, he's in top 5 all time in rushing. Yeah, Eric Dickerson. We never bring up those 2 guys, and they're amazing running backs.
And, you know, in the case of Dickerson, he wasn't on that many championships. He wasn't any championship teams.
No, the Rams. He was on those L.A. Ram teams that were not good.
Right, exactly. So, and then, but I mean, yeah, it's all when you stop and think about a legacy, it's defined by a lot of things. You know, and sometimes we overlook maybe some of the choice artists, players, whatever. And you take Prince, let's say, okay? I'm not a huge Prince fan.
I
just haven't listened that much of his music. As I was talking to our friend Terry Bradshaw yesterday about this very same thing, he was chatting about going on his way to Orlando for a speech. We were talking about Prince, and I said, Terry, I got to be. I know it's an age gap thing, but I wasn't aware of how popular Prince was. He said, me neither. In our generation, you know, it was obviously Elvis and the Beatles and whatever. And I knew he was a great musician, and I knew he was great, but didn't realize really how great he was until he died and how many people he impacted. So there's a lot of things about a legacy that we just miss sometimes because of generational gaps or because of oversights or things that people do are just hidden or whatever. And it's amazing how accurate or lack of accuracy is involved in a person's legacy when the story's told. You just don't get the full story.
You know, were you surprised? Because I was very surprised. Goff goes number 1 overall to the Rams. That's the first Cal Berkeley player taken number 1 overall since Steve Barkowski in '74. I forgot Aaron Rodgers because he's so great in the NFL was taken as an afterthought late in the first round.
He's a JUCO player too. I would say surprised. I don't think of Cal Berkeley as a home of great quarterbacks, you know? I just don't. And they have not been a dominant team.
Yeah, the only 2 I think of are Barkowski and Aaron Rodgers. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, think about a player being taken first overall. That takes a lot of things to happen. A lot of things to happen, you know, and there's mistakes made too. But, and again, there's no science to this. Joe Williams and I laughing about it last Monday about we actually talked off the air about the Broncos taking a guy named Ted Gregory from Syracuse. A nose tackler showed up. He's about 5'8". No one bothered to measure him, and he didn't make it to the first week. You know, so you can make mistakes. So they're better now at that stuff. They do all the data and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't get too involved in the draft. I know a lot of people like it. It's not my favorite thing, and we'll see how it shakes down. But when you get 5 players picked in the first round, you know. That
tells you why Ohio State won the national championship 2 years ago because of that team.
Exactly.
Let's talk about Florida Gators that were taken in the draft, buddy.
Okay.
Tampa Bay takes with the 11th overall pick. They trade down and still get the guy that everybody said when you listen to people in Tampa, it's the guy they wanted, Vernon Hargraves III. This is a great pick. Hometown kid from New Tampa, went to high school right there. This is not only going to be a good defensive player, but this is going to sell a lot of merchandise too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the money involved. NFL, they don't really care about the merchandise. NFLPA gets a lot of it anyway. But they do care about winning games, and Hargraves is an outstanding defensive player and competitor. He's a craftsman at his job. He gives it everything he's got. He's got great speed and we all know all that. I worry about his size. I know people tell me I'm crazy.
5'10".
I worry about him. He's got, but not even that. I'm okay with the 5'10". He can jump and elevate and take care of that. The hits he took in college. I asked him about this one time, 1-on-1. Just But there's time to think you got to kind of back off some of these things, man. Because he was, if you remember in his career earlier, Florida, he was just making some big.
Oh yeah, he sticks his head in everywhere.
Yeah, and almost knocking himself out. So I worry about. I think he's gotten smarter than that now. And when he said that when I talked to him, he learned how to do that better. But he's a special player and a guy that can make an impact. But there were guys who went ahead of him who were Gators. So it doesn't matter. Look, to be honest with you, whether you're 11th or whether it doesn't matter. Jeremy Tunsil. That was a big.
Oh, that was well. Yeah. I learned two things about Laramie Tunsil in the draft. Mm-hmm. One is he smokes pot, and two, somebody really close to him that has access to his Twitter account does not like him.
I think I heard you say that the other day, and
yeah.
You're right. And the thing about the best line I heard was, I usually don't like these kind of political things. Somebody put on Facebook, our friend, they put it on Facebook, and he said that he posted, said, "This is Hillary says this is not really me, and I didn't inhale."
Oh yeah. Well, the meme that's going out now with the Dolphins logo with the gas mask on, quite humorous. Yeah. So let's talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons, and the steal that they got. Local Ocala guy, Ocala ties, Clint Hart's little brother. That's what Clint says. My little brother got drafted. Keanu Neal goes to the Atlanta Falcons with the 17th overall pick. The Falcons need help on defense, and Dan Quinn has definitely got some help there.
Well, he knows him. He coached him. And he's a terrific player. Well, they had good safeties during that time.
They certainly did.
Defensive backs. And he's a terrific player. And it looks like, I don't know the Falcons need as much as you do. I know they need secondary help, but he's a guy that could stick and make a difference in that team. They need to do something different. They
need up front. They need up the field pass rushers, and they need secondary help. They got good linebackers. Yeah. They don't have any on the front four needs help, and the secondary needs help. Let's talk about the third Gator off the board. A guy who I think is an absolute steal by the Chicago Bears, Jonathan Bullard. I mean, this is a guy who had, at times showed flashes of being a first-round pick. It really is at his ability. Goes in the second round of the Chicago Bears. I think the Chicago Bears got a great pick here, buddy.
Well, you know the story on him, and we had last week Jim McElway on the program. He brought it up, and he's right. And is that what the great story for him and for others is Jonathan Bullard went from being about a fourth-round pick to a first-round pick. Or so it was a second.
Second, but early in the second round.
Yeah, but it came up. He might have been a fourth or fifth-round pick, but he stayed in school.
Right.
And improved himself a lot just by staying in there. So that was a good story for him. And I agree with him. Very unsung guy. Bullard was a guy. He disrupted things. He's a really good tackler. He can bring pressure. Yeah, he's going to be special, I think, for the Bears.
And you and I, unlike Tom James, you and I got this one right. And it looks like that there was much to do and about nothing to worry about in the city of Denver because they look like John Elway and Gary Kubiak looked like they know what they were doing. They take the guy out of Deltona, Florida, played at Trinity Christian Academy in Deltona, Florida. Mm-hmm. Nobody recruited this guy. UCF didn't recruit him. Florida looked at him, right.
And had him on the list and then backed off.
Right, and then UCF didn't even come to the plate. He could have took the place when Blake Bortles left. This could have been the guy at UCF. Maybe they wouldn't have went 0-11 last year. So Memphis,
he was a long gangly kid, dude. He was a long, tall, would drink of water, probably gangly, and who knows, when you see a kid like that who's 17, what he looks like. But you're right. He's the guy you and I both like.
Memphis.
And I think they got the best player for them. And Kubiak will definitely coach him up.
Do you know the funny thing? Do you know how he came to go to Memphis?
I do not.
He was at a camp, a high school at a camp, coming out at helping some high school kids, and the in Orlando, and the assistant athletic director at Memphis happened to be there. And saw him and went and started talking to him, and that's how he ended up at Memphis. And Paxton Lynch goes 25th overall. The Broncos actually traded up to get him 25th overall. I think with Gary Kubiak, the way that he's the quarterback, former quarterback, great head coach, John Elway to listen to mentor and everything. Paxton Lynch, 6'7", can just throw rockets. I think the Broncos have stolen something in the first round here.
Well, I mean, they obviously wanted to make a deal with Kaepernick and couldn't get it done. And now, but this kid reminds so much of Osbach. And I think it's what they see him. He was the best available. And I think he's a project. They're going to have a little gap in there. I don't believe he'll play right away. Maybe have mid-season, whatever, but there's enough pieces there on that Bronco team to get him through it. In a couple of years, he could be special. I do think he'll be like the next Osweiler, and he'll be effective. And Kubiak is a terrific quarterback coach, as you said. So, yeah, I think good things ahead for the guy you and I liked. I thought I would take him over the other two guys, and myself. The guys who went 1 and 2, I would have taken Paxton Lynch over both of them.
You said that. Now, before I let you go, I read an article on gridironnow.com by Mr. College Football. We had him on the show earlier this week. I read an article by a column by him that was inspired by his visit to Buddy's Sports Page and Southern Pigskin tonight about how college stadiums got their name. Were you surprised when you read that article that 3 sentences in, the article was inspired by a conversation with Buddy Martin?
He must be stuck pretty bad if he has to resort to me for inspiration. No, I read the article, and I actually have something to offer on that. But go ahead and ask your question.
Well, my question is, were you this is the question I want to get to. Were you aware of the exact ways all these stadiums got their names? Because it was a surprise to me how some of them got their names.
No, I was not, and I thought it was a very good job by Tony. I really like. In fact, I recommend a certain ball coach he read it. That he take a look at it because it was very well done by Tony. And, you wonder, who was Vaught and who was Hemingway and who all these guys, And it's funny. There's a trend there if you see it about a former person or a donor or whatever, and then adding another name. And of course, what we're referring to here is should they change Florida Field or should they change Ben Hill Griffin? I don't know. You never did weigh in on that.
Well, I think it ought to be. I think it ought to stay Ben Hill Griffin Stadium and Florida Field. I like Steve Spurrier. I like Steve Spurrier Field or Spurrier Field, just like they made it Bowden Field, just like it's Allen E. Paulson Stadium at a certain school I'm near and dear to, but it's Irk Russell Field.
Well, if it's true, okay, I hear what you're saying, and I think a lot of people agree with you on that, and I'm kind of mixed on it. But let me just tell you, if Jeremy Foley is accurate when he says, he made a statement, Steve Spurrier is our Bear Bryant.
Well, it is Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Why do they call the stadium Bryant-Denny in Tuscaloosa then?
Well, that's a good point. If he's Florida's Bear Bryant, it should be Spurrier-Griffith Stadium.
Yeah. Now, let me just tell you, I brought the subject up to the ball coach. Not so much about that. I just made a remark about it, about there's some talk about this and that and the other, and he didn't really care about hearing about it. And I said, well, they got Vaught Hemingway, they got this, and they got Bryant-Denny and, whatever. And he said, I think Bear Bryant was there like 25 years or something like that. Yeah. I said, and I was talking, he says, Jerry and my name is on the practice facility. I said, yeah. He said, they don't need to do that. My name is around there enough. I don't need to have it. I don't have it anymore. I don't need to have it on there or anything else, which is his approach. So I thought that was kind of interesting. He's flattered to have what he's got, statue naturally and whatever. But you would say that's a pretty nice honor to have you on the stadium if you're that good. But we'll see how it works out. I think it's probably going to be mixed on that. Although, let's be honest, Ben Hill Griffin was a good Gator, had a big checkbook, but what did he do in terms of the program in Florida?
That's Allen E. Paulson. He's a guy that owns Gulfstream. He wrote a check and built a stadium at Georgia Southern, but other than that, he didn't really do anything in the football program.
Yeah, but shouldn't it be Schmitz, Allen D. Paulson Stadium?
No. It should not be Schmitz Paulson Stadium. It should just be Schmitz Stadium. Okay, let's get Alan Paulson off of it. Hey, buddy, where can we?
We all know you love yourself some me, and
I love me some me. I'm like Chad Johnson. Hey, let me ask you this question, buddy. Where can we find your column, and what's it going to be? What do you think it's going to be on this weekend? I'm
hopeful I get it done next couple of 48 hours. It's going to be Coach McElwain's second year, and what do we expect out of him after a 10-4 start, and how good is that in terms of first years for other coaches. So we'll talk about that. The column will be on GoDownNow.com and some of the pictures, probably Monday or Tuesday. So,
all right, Buddy Martin, thanks so much for joining us, and go enjoy the rest of your weekend.
I'm doing it. Thank you.
Buddy Martin. We'll take a break, come back, try to get Ray Einhorn of Ocala National, and if not, it'll just be Luke and I talking, I guess we'll talk soccer and hockey right here on the Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3. What? Well, you don't want to talk soccer and hockey?
No, I don't. I think I'm going to remain mute for that one.
Really? That's what you're going to do?
Yeah.
All right. Right here on WOCA, The Source.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Hey, this is Dan. Let me ask you a few questions. Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTUpholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
WWOCA,
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. You know, a Ocala guy that is a PGA Tour professional, but is trying to get back out on tour after a freak accident where he broke his ankle, and he's trying to get back out on tour. He's doing it by first. He has a medical exemption, so he can get back out. But right now, he's trying to go out on the web.com tour to get some play experience in. He's tied for ninth right now. He teed off at 9:52 this morning. He is Ted Potter Jr. He's tied for ninth. He's in the top 10 at the, let me tell you what course, the United Leasing Championship. I have no idea where it's being played, but it is the web.com tour. That tells you, you know, God love .com, guys, but, you know, I know it's United Leasing, and it's Web.com tour, and Ted Potter is in tied for ninth place. He's 6 strokes off the lead, 4 under, tied for ninth place. Teed off at 9:52 this morning. Luke will pull up where the location of it is. It's United Leasing. Who knows where it is? It's being played somewhere in this country. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find it myself.
Yeah,
I mean,
I got the leaderboard right here in front of me. Bhavik
Victoria National.
Yeah, I got that. Maybe in Canada, I don't know. But Bhavik Patel is leading at 10 under. Brandon Hagee is 8 under. Sebastian Vasquez 6 under. Then you have a bunch of players at 5 under. Jack McGuire, Jonathan Randolph, Adam Schneck. And then you get to the Greg Chalmers, who some of you may know from his past time on the PGA Tour. And then you get to the tied for ninth, Cody Gribble, Ted Potter Jr., Timothy Madigan, and Steve Flesh. So Ted Potter tied for ninth place, 4 under, 6 strokes off the lead, teed off at 9:52 this morning. Just to give you a golf update, that golf update was brought to you by Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. If you want to see how luxury lives, go check out Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. You can call 629-6229 and set up a tour to go see how luxury lives, Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. And also, Michelob Ultra, the official beverage of the LPGA and PGA Tour. That golf update of Ted Potter Jr. tied for ninth on the Web.com United Leasing Championship at
Southern Indiana.
Southern Indiana.
The 45th out of top 100 of the Golf Digest courses.
Well, there you go. So now we know where it is. And Ted Potter from Ocala is tied for ninth. He's inside the top 10 at the United Leasing Championships. Luke Sylvia joins me now to talk a little bit of soccer or hockey.
Right, yeah.
Hockey season's over. The Rangers lost, so hockey season's over. Last night, Dwayne Wade scores 23 points, hits a three-pointer, I think, from Steph Curry range. And the Miami Heat hold off the Charlotte Hornets to the chagrin of the greatest basketball player to play the game, who was sitting courtside. And by the way, they kept going to him as the Heat were winning this game in the fourth quarter. Michael didn't look happy. Michael was not a happy man last night. But the Miami Heat beat the Charlotte Hornets 97-90 to force a Game 7. Really, should we even be in a Game 7 in this series, Luke?
Absolutely not. They have the same record, so and kind of on paper they look like it should go.
Miami Heat's a better basketball team.
But if you know basketball, you would have said when you saw this matchup, it doesn't matter. Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat are going to win this series. They've had a couple of hiccups, obviously. But the craziest thing about last night, before last night, it says this article coming, I believe, from SB Nation. It says both shots came as a result of the shot clock window winding down.
Yeah.
He had only attempted one in the entire series.
I know.
His last 3-point field goal that was made December, and he only converted 7 of them in the regular season.
Right.
And
but
he
he shot 2 last night, both of them perfect, and both of them as the shot clock was expiring, and one of them from about 28 feet.
Yeah.
One of them was from a long, long way.
He finished his fourth quarter was he had scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. He had a chase down block on Kemba Walker.
But Kemba Walker, who scored 37 points in the loss.
Yeah, I'd be a little irritated if I was Kemba.
Here's the thing. You know what struck me last night as I'm watching this game, because I was out at a local establishment and I was watching the game. This tells you how college doesn't necessarily, when you leave college after 1 year, the one and dones, how it takes you a while to be very good in the NBA. After 1 year at Duke, where he was all-world and won a national championship, Justin Winslow leaves. I forgot he was even on the Miami Heat till last night.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who left Duke as a stud. Everybody thought he was going to be great and everything. You get to Miami, you're not good. You're not good.
He doesn't It's disappointing because, like you said,
I think he's going to be very good.
But this is going to show you. This is just another example, one of many, as to why players should not be able to leave that early.
They should not. Justin Winslow, who is a great basketball player and was a great college basketball player for the short time when he was there, has no business in the NBA right now.
No, he doesn't. He's a boy among men.
He really is a boy amongst men. Has no business in the NBA. Also last night, the 7-game. It went to a 7-game series.
The Pacers?
Pacers, yeah. The Raptors and the Pacers. How'd this game get past 5 games? Oh, wait. 2 words. Two guys. Is it 2 guys? Because it's 2 first names. Paul George.
Yeah.
Is that 2 guys or is that 1 guy?
That would be 1. The superstar Paul George, who is coming off an injury that was
a horrendous compound fracture, broken leg.
Yep, on the stanchion or on the basket and with the USA game.
Right.
And I believe it was a year and a half, 2 years ago now. But took the whole year off last year because of the injury. Had surgery, underwent surgery, came back. People said, I don't know if Paul George is going to be the same Paul George. It might take him a little bit to recover. Well, this year he averaged 23.1 points per game is what he's averaging right now. And I believe that might be in the playoffs, actually. I think that's just might be in the playoffs this series. So he's just an incredible player. He scored 21 points last night, and he's putting Indiana on his back. And I personally believe Toronto's not been out of the first round since I believe 2001 or 2002. I think they're cursed, Tom. I think they're not meant to be out of the first round.
By the way, Luke Sylvia did say the Indiana Pacers would win this series.
I did.
I didn't think it would happen. I thought Toronto was a much better team. They're the 2 seed, right?
Yes, it's a 2-7.
2-7.
Yeah.
2-7. So I thought Toronto would win this series easy. Not to be the case. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you set up for all the NBA action that takes place this weekend right here on the Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
Michelob Ultra is more than a superior light beer. It's taken in all life has to offer, like catching a wave or biking a long trail. And when you're done, you reach for a cold Michelob Ultra. Fewer carbs, fewer calories, more to look forward to. Michelob Ultra. Long live the ultra life. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra Light Beer, 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, 0.6 grams protein, and 0 grams fat per 12-ounce serving. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Kendall Carpenter with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. I want to introduce you to the finest equestrian opportunity available. If you love horses and enjoy Central Florida's mild climate and rich rolling landscape, come explore Golden Ocala. Bridle trails weave their way through this stunningly beautiful community of stately homes. Our state-of-the-art equestrian center will meet all of your equestrian needs with style. Visit us at goldenocala.com.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name. Located in Ocala, RenStar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. RenStar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call RenStar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today. Please call RenStar at 352-629-5800.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page as we wrap up the sports page today. Luke, the West, which we wrote off as a San Antonio Golden State showdown, now is much more interesting, as it should be, than the East because of injuries, not because of basketball.
Yeah. And like you said, in the West, you have Steph Curry, which I've talked about on the air this week. Steph Curry's out. They're going to reevaluate
The entire
him.
Clippers team is out. Oh, I mean Blake Griffin and Chris Paul. Well, yeah, like I said, the Clippers team.
Yeah, exactly. They're all out. They leave it down to the free throw fanatic DeAndre Jordan. Thankfully, they were put to bed last night.
The Trailblazer fans were like, "Hey, thank God."
Yeah, that they had a gift fall in their lap.
They did.
But not to take anything away from Damian Lillard, who
they still wouldn't have won this series if Chris Paul and Blake Griffin were healthy.
I don't think so either. But Damian Lillard had a great game last night, 28 points. CJ McCollum had 20. But tonight, the series that starts that I just told you, the season really starts tonight. You've got
San Antonio, OKC.
Yep, and it's the legendary coach against the one still proving himself. So
yeah,
of course,
Billy Donovan. I mean, can we say that the first year in the NBA has been a success now that he's gotten to the second round of the playoffs?
I believe that is safe to say.
He doesn't have but one superstar.
Right. He doesn't.
He's got some all-stars, but only one superstar. That's Mark Cuban.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is a pivotal season. It's his first season, but it's also the most imperative that he does
He's not
well.
beating Pop. Okay, let's just go. Okay? One of the greatest college basketball coaches ever is not beating, in my estimation. You ready for this?
Yeah, say it.
The greatest NBA coach in the history of the game.
I can't argue. I mean, he's incredible.
And I know that, this is a guy who has kept a team that usually when the players make decisions and the coaches are just there to do what the players want, that works in every NBA city. That's the truth in every NBA city except one, San Antonio. If you think for a second Pop isn't in control, shut the radio off now and start watching soccer.
I'm going to say something that's going to shock you, Tom. I'm going to say it. I made a bracket prior to the playoffs. As soon as the playoff matchups were set, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Wow.
And 6 games against Greg Popovich.
Wow.
I think Coach Donovan, I think he is going to coach his players to the best of his ability this series. I think Kevin Durant is sick and tired of not executing in the playoffs, and I think that he gets it done, and I think that he can take advantage of an injured Warriors team in the conference finals.
Wow, so you got OKC in the finals of the West, and if they're in the finals of the West, they win this thing.
Like I said,
wow,
the East doesn't matter.
No.
It's the West.
So I'm going to give you a question that's probably going to take longer than the minute and a half we have, but you only got about 45 seconds to answer it.
Yeah.
In the West, with all the people that we have in the West, with all the good players, does Damian Lillard get lost? Because in the East, he would be just below LeBron. Does he get lost as a great player because he's in Portland and nobody – I mean, this is one of the best players in the NBA.
Yep, and he's been snubbed from a playoff selection multiple times. He's an incredible player. I believe that he does get overlooked. His talent is underappreciated, and I think this next series against the Warriors, he's going to take advantage of no Steph Curry, and I believe we will see some big games out of him as well as the new guy on the block, C.J. McCollum.
10 seconds. Can the Trailblazers beat the Warriors without Steph Curry?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
No, I said Dame's going to have a big game, but they're not going to
The
win.
Warriors are still a very good basketball team.
The Warriors are still the Warriors.
And by the way, Steph Curry may be back for the finals.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to thank my guest today, Buddy Martin. Also, I want to thank Luke Sylvia for pushing all the right buttons, and prayers out to your mom. I hope she gets to feeling better, and I know you're gonna go join her now. So safe travels, and hey, for all you folks out there listening to the Saturday Sports Page, have a good weekend, everybody.